Ladies and gentlemen, welcome this afternoon to the BCiB Grade 1 Open Gender Pennant Finals from Foster. Now we are in the quarterfinals. We're today bringing you Engadine versus Soldiers Point, which is the team from Soldiers Point, Matthew Johnstone, William Ahoy, Terry Antram and Nick Cahill versus Samantha Ferguson, Christopher Roberts, Ann Johns and Mason Lewis. And a really exciting match to come after the three sectional rounds. And this is nearing the pinnacle now. These guys are just finishing up their practice ends. Some pretty famous names, and from my perspective, good to see two of the best ladies in the state up here as well. Across on the other final to our left is Cabramatta versus, and I've just lost that sheet. Just give me a second. Sorry, it's all right. I have Cabramatta versus East Maitland to our left. Over on the green to our right is St John's versus Tarrant Point. And finally, Nelson Bay is playing against Raymond Terrace as well. So just while these practice ends finish up, we have a club full of people, and the greens absolutely surrounded once again. All the teams that have been knocked out have hung around, and you're going to enjoy a good afternoon of bowls. The weather has not really changed much this morning. We have beautiful blue skies, a slight amount of cloud, probably about 20% cloud of just thin, wispy high cloud, and a breeze running, if you see your screen at the moment, running from left to right as it was yesterday and as it was a little bit this morning. It's not any stronger. It hardly has any effect. It's very warm and just a fantastic day to be out and about. And if you are in the area, I highly recommend getting to a club at the moment that's hosting a final and have a look, because this is the best of the best and the pinnacle of almost the pinnacle of sport in New South Wales. I think this is the game we all play, and Pennants being as big as it is in New South Wales, to see these players in the finals, and the thing that we're all aiming for. Certainly, I'm aiming for. We are here, of course, thanks to Bowling Club Insurance Brokers, or BCiB. They're the number one insurance brokers for clubs in New South Wales. They have a solid reputation for professionalism and providing quality personal service. BCiB are also a big financial supporter of the sport of bowls, and have been for a fair while. Thanks, Greg. Yep, we're just working on that now. The club names and the scorecards. We've just got a fair bit of admin to do. We'll get there very shortly. Thanks, Greg. Just as these guys finish up their practice ends. All right. So with the skips just finishing up their roll-ups all up and down. Really good spirits here for the start of a pretty serious competition. Here we go for the first end. Soldiers Point have the mat. He's kept the mat back a fair bit and thrown Jack pretty long as well. Tactically, I think you watched the roll up there with plenty of short bowls, or the practice ends. And Matty Johnson to kick us off here. And neither of these teams played on this green this morning. It may take them a little while to adjust, but obviously the wind blowing completely across left to right and making that left-hand side where Matt came down very wide, and he's started very, very well. And as we come around and watch Sam Ferguson, she's just dropped hers a little short. She'll adjust quickly. She had a very good game this morning. I managed to catch the end of their game over the other side there against Ettalong Memorial. And her and this team were playing exceptionally well against really tough opponents, Darren Morrison's team. And another great shot by Matty Johnson. That's important leading. That's a good start. That'll put the pressure on his opposition straight away. And Sam just crashing into her front bowl, promoting it slightly. Seconds ball Williams put that one down fairly well, just crashed into the back a little bit, but has made three, enough for three. And here comes Chris Roberts, magnificent bowler. Really natural, seems to be a really natural position for him in second. He's not afraid to, he'll draw really well, but he's not afraid to run through if he has to. And William putting another one on the side there. I don't know if that's four or not. It looks likely. Important bowl here. Just don't want your opposition to kick away too much. Yeah, and a wonderful shot there from Chris Roberts. As I said, he's a fantastic bowler. He got a good sider on his first one and was managed to drop that one in at the back. Oh, just crashing through there a little bit. Terry and Terry Antram, and the skip's having a really good look as Ann Johns, who looks a bit rugged up, might be feeling the cold a little bit, has a good look. There's a fair amount of tension out there on the greens at the moment. You can see the body language of the players is not as relaxed as it was. They're feeling their mistakes a bit more. And just running through a gap at the back there, probably just looking to rest on that wing bowl. And doing okay. Third for Soldiers Point is Terry Terry Antram, I think I mentioned his name before, with his big white bowls. He's playing his forehand. Everyone else has played the other way so far. He's got that little window in front, and it is the narrow hand. It's good to get a sider. Will it turn? Oh, he's got a little feather and kick Jack across. Potentially making a bit of a number there for Soldiers Point. That's a fantastic bowl. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. The skipper not really signalling, keeping his hands well and truly tucked in his jumper there, but someone just walking behind the rink on the footpath for Anne there, and she lines up on her backhand. Oh, she's coming very heavy. Or just ducking away on that narrower hand. But obviously doing what her skipper told her, so that's good news, and she's played it fairly well, just didn't miss by much. Now come the skippers, Nick Cahill and Mason Lewis. And the last time I saw Nick Cahill was at BPL. He's got the skills to match it. Well, he's with the Melbourne Extreme. And I've seen his ability to draw. His first BPL, he got a lot of respect down there at Moama. But just cutting across here, he's about to learn how wide that side can get. Oh, he's crashed and fallen. I certainly called that one wrong. And as it came down, it ducked further than I thought. He's using an unusual set of bowls, Aero Space. Oh, Mason's just crashed the pack. I think he's still down, at least. But Aero Space has got quite a. Except I had to look them up. They've got quite a wide line, and into that wind on the windward side would really be interesting. So Nick again on that wider hand. See how much these bowls with their unusual colours, which I really like, duck in. He's pulled up Jack high and fallen over. No indication of a score there or whether that's in. All to do now for Mason. On that wider hand. Looks really good to there. Really neat looking action, a neat bowl here. Getting pushed by the wind across. Will it sit and fall in one shot? He's done an amazing effort to rescue that end. He's got one shot to Mason and no complaints there from the skipper. Pretty rough end for him up to that point. So similar kind of length for Sam there. She's just not really playing with it yet. Just seeing each team kind of figuring out what each other can do and strengths and weaknesses of their own at the time. And this green, which is new to them. Soldiers Point having played here yesterday. And of course, we commentated one of their games. Colin Litfin, but Matty Johnson, that's a magnificent beard. I have to admit I am a man that appreciates a good beard. It takes some commitment to grow, so well done. And what a great shot he's put down there. Running through, sitting next to Jack. Both leads really turning it on quickly. I'd like to see Samby back a bit, and she knows that too. And here she comes, and she's pushed back in a really handy spot. That's where Jack will go as the Engadine team plays down that hand and tries to move Jack around. Something you'll notice when you're watch these players is they have a really smooth style, and any players that are out there that want to improve their game can watch this and learn and just watch the way they all move. They all have slightly different styles, and some quite unusual ones, you'd almost say, but comes Chris. Oh, very nice bowl there. He's knocked that away for one, probably two, in fact. Has left the Soldiers Point bowl in a pretty good position for William to move Jack 2 if he wants to and crash into, but it looks like he's just cutting a bit early at the moment. I did promote Sam's bowl a bit from the front. So I'm going to go ahead and limb and say that's 2 shots. Just looking at the feed here, Benjamin Osborne watching from Bali, and Vince Calabrese, my mate Vince, is spent the whole time when I was commentating the Australian Open watching as well, so a bit of a bowls tragic, Vince, and good on him too, same as me. These guys are running through their shots pretty quickly. There's not much delay on the mat. At this point, fantastic shot there by William. Crashing into the side bowl, he gave it enough weight to arrive and rolled over and bashed, and the magic fingers from Mason to check whether they're holding or not. Might influence his shot, and he doesn't look happy. He's calling... He's calling Ann down on her backhand, I think, just to see if he can promote some of the bowls on that side. They do have 2 or 3 out there. That's the narrower hand. She's played with enough weight to arrive. She's not crashing through. Oh, probably actually not enough weight. That's looked good out of her hand, but as it runs and tries to turn into the wind, the speed can come off the bowl very quickly. I think that's what happened there. It'll take some time to adjust. Peter Roberts there watching from St John's Park. Welcome. I'm glad you're on the feed. A little bit wide from Terry Antram. And John's just running a little bit skinny. Was maybe looking to duck through there a little bit as well. Could have taken Jack, but just turned a little bit too much for her. Really ducked away at the end. Oh, fantastic shot here by Terry Antram. Oh, it just got pushed out a little bit more up and over, and he may have stolen another shot there, but Soldiers Point holding one, I'd suggest, by the looks of the body language of the skips. Mason Lewis having a really good look as he heads up to the mat. Very interested in what's going on there. Lining up like Andy did on his backhand down that narrow side. He's pushed it out a fair way. Around. And I don't think he's got weight to arrive, or actually I think he'll be disappointed with himself. I just watching his shoulder slump a little there. he'll keep in mind it's only the second end. And Nick Cahill has just a big open draw in front of him on that side, and his bowls turn an absolute mile. Oh, it's crashed into the back one. I don't know whether that's changed anything at all. And here's Mason. Mason just sitting back a bit. Round of applause if Nick manages to kick Jack back. That's where Jack's going to go. Oh, lots of interest here from Nick. Lots of interest indeed. And, well, he absolutely should. Smacking that ball away for Chris's bowl. I think it is for at least 2 shots. They're going to have a close look. Tapes out for the third. That's 3 shots by the looks. Just saw Ian's signal there. Well, I'll wait till the board changes just to make sure I'm accurate. With 3 it is for Soldiers Point on the second end, and a big end there, and a great shot by Nick Cahill. Absolutely fantastic bowling by that man. Just looking at the other rinks there, it looks like a 2-all after 2 on the middle rink. And a 2-0, 2s all round. So they just update it there. I just saw the Leeds bowls go down. And an absolute ripper to start with by Matty Johnson. He's on fire in the first ends here. And Sam Ferguson just trying to match him up. As I say, a big warm welcome to everyone's favourite man, Andrew Lynn.
Well, I'm not sure I'm everybody's favourite, but I think I'm the dog's favourite when I've got the food in my hand.
Oh, I think you're the favourite at the moment. Everyone's waiting for the updated scores, and you're the man putting them in. So
well, we've got the confirmed competitors in all of the quarterfinals in all 7 grades now. We've gone through and made sure of that. Of course, here at Foster in Grade 1 of the BCiB Open State Pennants, we have Engadine versus Soldiers Point is our feature game. Cabramatta East Maitland, St John's Park, Tarrant Point, Nelson Bay, Raymond Terrace. In Grade 2, being played at Ballina and Byron Bay, Raymond Terrace are playing Foster, Mona Vale up against Cabravale Diggers, Mudgee playing Grandviews, Marimbula playing the Entrance. Nice big spread across the state.
Yeah, wow.
In Grade 3, being played, well, chucked in the venues on me in the wrong places there. That's good. Bowls Link Auto map.
Autofill, whoops.
Yep, so Grade 3 is actually at Charlestown. We've got Inverell RSM, Dundas Sports, Padstow playing Tathra Beach, Port City up against Leichhardt, and the Rules Club Wagga playing Pittwater Memorial. In Grade 4 being played at South Tamworth, Maitland City up against St John's Park, Wenty Leagues against Wingham, Young playing Springwood, and South Tweed playing Halakalani. Big spread across the state there again. Grade 6, which is at West Dubbo and Macquarie. Marimbula playing Leeton Soldiers. Campbelltown City, NBC Sports. Birrong playing Foster. And Parks Railway up against Corindai. Grade 6, which is being played at Warilla. Picton playing Dalmini. Belrose St John's Park, a Metro clash. South Tamworth East Maitland, and Terrigal playing Warilla. The Gorillas through in their home hosting event. And in grade 7 at Northmead and Dundas, Ballina takes on Nowra. NBC Sports plays Tumbarumba. Gerringong playing Singleton RSL, and Southwest Rocks playing Old Bar.
What a great spread of clubs we have from, as you said, all over the state there. Magnificent. I'm looking at Zone 7 Nowra there in the... sorry, that was the 7s, wasn't it, at the end there?
Yes.
Yeah, good on them. That's a good bunch of blokes there playing. I'm pretty impressed with that as a South Coast boy. As I just watched Chris Roberts from Engadine there drop a beautiful shot in just before Jackie's first ball went past. But he's currently holding shot at the moment. Everyone's got their line fairly well locked in now. And with a pretty good head to bowl to there. And out on the wide hand, which is also the open hand. She's pushed it back. She's passed the line into that group of bowls there next to her teammate Chris, which is and not a bad place to be if Jack moves back. That's clearly where it's going to go, and there's room there for Jack to move. Oh, Terry Antram, big jump up and down by Nick. What's the call by the skips? It's a really good shot. I get the feeling that he's actually drawn it. And Mason calling in on the narrower side. Just playing to drop and stop and flop on that last bowl. Might be down to weight here. Line's pretty good. Oh, hats off everyone to, and is it going to fall over? Or may not. Really good shot. Well, one down is the call from Mason. I thought she had that all the way, but it just kept moving, kept rolling a little bit. These greens are, of course, very quick. There's a real shine on the surface. It looks slick, and the sun beating down to the wind will certainly be drying them out. Lots of wear from the players.
We're very grateful for the tinted window in front of us right now.
Absolutely. It'd be baking in here without it. Nick Cahill chasing his bowl down here. Likes the look of it, and why wouldn't he? He's crashed all those bowls out. Still only one, but any measure that may have been there is definitely gone. And asking Mason to do a very similar thing to what he asked her to do, and she very nearly managed.
Now, look, Ben, too, there's a couple of people who've said they've looked at the finals draw on Bowls Link where it says finals series draw, and we have in grade 1 the section 1 winner, section 2 winner, section 3 winner, section 4 on that tree type diagram. Mm-hmm. And people said, it doesn't match up to what's in the program. The winner of the second game on that tree draw will actually go into the bottom semi-final.
Yeah, it's crossed over. The lines are quite a little bit wrong.
They're crossed over. Be assured the draw does match the theory here at Foster, that you don't play the same side unless you meet them in the final. Now that might not be the case at other venues. You won't play the same side unless you play them in the final in grades 1 here at Foster, grade 6 at Warilla, and the grade at Tamworth, which just escapes me, it's the 4s from memory. because all the quarterfinals are played at the one venue, so no one has an advantage from staying at the one venue or changing, have a disadvantage. But the venues where the semi-finalists come over from playing at another venue in the quarterfinals, you will play against the same venue. So both will change venues and play in the semi, and then, of course, the two winners will meet in the final in the afternoon.
Just to make sure that it's fair for everyone and we're not asking teams to cross the town, in fact, at that point and change greens. Well, one team gets to play on the same green. It's a bit of weight here from Mason. He nearly cleaned up the jack, just clunked into that front bowl.
Yeah, we did have,
three?
When we introduced the quarterfinals, we did have the draw so that you didn't play the same side unless you played in the final, and it meant that the two sides that came in either zone from Olds Park to Grandviews played against the two sides that had been at Grandviews, and there was a perceived advantage. Whether that's true or not, they just played better, I don't know. So we took that on board. And in that case now, so for example, the two sides that win their way through the semis from Byron Bay in the Grade 2, they will play against each other at Ballina. And the two sides from qualifying from Ballina will play against each other. And of course then two winners will play the second game of the day at Ballina.
So another 3 there for Soldiers Point, and that's 6 in 2 ends.
But I must say, we used to play the final on a Sunday morning or a Monday morning, and it was often that a side would have to change venues from Sunday to Monday morning and play a side who'd won through to the final. One year it appeared there was an advantage, and the next year it was the other way around. The sides that travelled got through. So I'm not convinced there's a massive advantage, but there is that perceived advantage, and we try to make things as fair as we can.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find some statistics on it, but we do try to keep it fair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play a couple of different wages to see.
A good start here by the leads. Just Sam is lining up on her forehand, using once again, same as we saw this morning, the windward side seems to be the more consistent side. And played this really well into that bowl. Oh, she's just cut through the gap. And, left one back, which is very, very handy.
So Sam Ferguson and Ian Johns, the current women's state pairs champions, and Sam Ferguson, the current women's champion of club champions singles winner.
It's a pretty handy bowler.
Both have played for New South Wales. Ian Johns has been in the Australian squad, and I would expect Sam is just knocking on the door to be included in the squads for the Jackaroos. Pretty tough gig to get into.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Fair effort, that one.
So we're hearing from Dubbo today, as I'm sitting here looking at blue sky and sunshine and warmth. Julie Scott's letting us know that not such happy bowlers at Dubbo in maximum of 10 degrees this morning, sleet and everything.
Glorious day.
That's an amazing thing that'd blow my mind. I think I haven't barely seen snow.
Look, we did have a competition at Dubbo a few years ago where we did not start on time. The greenkeeper asked for a little bit of extra time for the frost on the edge of the green to be thawed.
Makes for a crispy sounding bowls delivery as Chris comes down now. He's going to bump into the back there, I think. He's just shifted Matty Johnson's bowl across. An indicator of up and down there. He's may have actually cost himself the shot. Hard to tell. I'm not sure what Nick Cahill was signalling then. He put 3 fingers up, but doesn't look like he's got that many bowls around the jack, so I'm not sure what that meant.
He might have been having a crack at Chippo. Oh, I would.
I know you would. Apples was very complimentary about your commentary yesterday.
Oh, I told him what I was tempted to say about his hand. But we can't mention that.
So Anne lining up on her all backhand, just standing up. Someone's walking through the... Oh, they're playing next door. Just moving into a line of sight.
A little running shot next door, so she's just...
Is that Wayne Root again next door?
It would be.
I recognise those calf muscles anywhere. Anne's bowl just drifting back, has gone crashed into Sam's purple bowl there. There's a bit of a cluster there now of their bowls. Let's see what Nick's calling through.
Well, he's saying they're 2 shots. Getting Terry Antram to play backhand. Just careful, Ben, the member of the Chopstick Mafia, just there.
Well, sitting next to us, he's came up and said thanks for the call out actually earlier. He enjoyed our commentary yesterday. He said even though he didn't play that well, he was happy that we were treating him nicely. So maybe we need to be more mean. What do you think?
No, don't invite me to do it.
Don't invite me. Good cop, bad cop. We're not going to do that.
I could be the very bad cop. That's the problem.
Ah, big meanie. So Nick having a good look with his magic fingers.
I
think he indicated one down there. Don't know. It looks. I can see the head pretty well from here. I reckon it's very close between 3 of those bowls. And
what shot would you play here, Ben?
Oh, that's a draw to me on the narrow hand, and lots of percentage there. If you miss and cross, you've got everything to go for here. Nick, he is using I'm going to say it again, a really wide set of bowls. They're arrow space. The first set I've seen used on grass, he's coming out extremely narrow. And watch these ones dive away on that narrow hand.
Well, that's close to a wrong bias. Somebody asked me once, what shot would you play here? And I said, I'd come down on the backhand about 4 feet heavy, trail a jack and put it into that group of 3 bowls back there, and that's the opponents. Why would you try to do that? I wouldn't try to do it.
I'm just not that good a bowler, mate. Here comes Mason just drawing around on that narrow hand. He's played that really well, held out a bit and maybe a bit weighty for what he was looking for, which would be a dead draw, I'd assume.
Look, Tim, Ben, my bowling ability is best described as every now and then should be the best bowler in the ones, and the rest of the time, mate, little ring on the inside.
I heard someone call someone used the nickname Pothole for someone during one of the para events at the Australian Open. They called him Pothole because he's always in the road.
Yes.
I thought that was a good one. Obviously, I'm a bit naive. That one may have been around a while, but I enjoyed that one.
Look, anyone who's heard me call, I always have a shout out to the Albatross. There's a good reason for the nickname, but we won't go into that. But we've got a couple of little codes there, and one of them is, mate, that was a postcard, that one. People said, postcard? What do you mean there? Wish you were here.
Wish you were here. Not because you sent it. All right, the Soldiers Point team up and about this bowl. Ducking now, looking to just move Jack. He's missed everything somehow. In a really good spot, but not sure. Wow, that was close.
I've heard some fantastic nicknames for bowlers as well. Keep them clean. Put them in the comments.
Julie Scott just sending us photos. A photo of here we go, Mason. That's the dead draw he was looking for. Rolls over and gives Jack a little touch as well, which probably means he brought Chris's bowl into it.
Got a few. I did have one bloke that was nicknamed Milk Bottle. They said he'd go out every night and on the morning he'd be full on the doorstep.
here. I didn't see the call. There's a couple. Just moving Jack across was enough to take any doubt out of the third's minds. Let's see what the scoreboard says in a second.
Did have one bloke referred to as jump rope.
6-3.
The simple reason was he always thought he should be skipping.
So the middle. Is it?
Garbo is one of the ones there, always chasing the rush.
Oh, that's me. Always chasing rubbish.
Undignified running up the green, mate. You're wasting your energy.
And I'm not a good runner. This body is not built for running.
A pretty good start from the leads.
Just trying to update the scores here. The guys are standing right in front of the scoreboards. Actually, it's our Pam, our ITO in the way there. Right in the way. I'll wait till she moves away and I'll be able to get an idea of that last rink.
The middle one's 4-5 after 5.
Colin Brace's tail light, not bright enough to be a headlight. Oh, and the umpire moved and the player jumped straight in the way. So it's still 2 on the left-hand rink. On the left-hand side of the scoreboard. I just can't see the right. Oh, Chris again, just they're making a little cluster at the back there, the bowlers right now. It's funny how that happens sometimes. It's coming in at draw weight, a lot of them, and all a little bit wide and just stopping on each other's bowls. But here comes, who's that? Oh, that would be William, and that's run through on the other side.
Did have a fella nicknamed Scribbler.
Scribbler?
Yeah. Couldn't draw.
So I think that last rink was 2-6. So he had a view and now it's gone.
Did play cricket with a fellow nicknamed Whispers.
So in case we had to carry him everywhere. Good.
Sensor light only works when someone walks past. Well, yeah, shared a workplace with some people like that.
Shippo's in the way as well. It is a 6. I just got a view there.
Yeah.
Good. So we have on the 3 rinks 3-6 here. On the one you're watching, on the middle rink 4-5 after 4, and on the third rink 2-6 after 4. So an interesting head here for the thirds to have a look at. Terry Antram out on the wide hand. He's played that fairly well. Oh, and beautiful. Just caressing Jack and falling over. That's a beautiful bowl. Yeah, Julie Scott sent us a photo from Dubbo.
14 jackets and 3 blankets.
Which are I'll see if I can post it into the comments. Right into the comments. I don't think I can, but that's a very cold-looking Julie Scott she's played. I'm glad she's put that in there. That's fantastic.
Well, hopefully it warms up in the next just over a month. You and I get a nice little road trip out to Dubbo in 6 weeks or so.
I think it seems unlikely.
The state junior 7-a-side in a zone. It's a fantastic event, that one. So
look at that second bowl there by Anton. That's a fantastic effort by the third there, and Soldiers Point really looking quite good at the moment.
Well, Terry Antram showing the form that got him into the Australian squad.
Mm.
Carried Steve Glass into a state pairs, I believe.
Easy. Glasso's only a little fella.
Moz having a crack.
Mason, here comes crack.
Got them both.
And it was a beautiful hit. And the Soldiers Point guys are still saying 2 shots. So he's carried Jack back and set it between 2 bowls from Soldiers Point there, and very unlucky. He split those bowls beautifully at the front.
Great conversion, 2 up, 2 down to 2 down. A little unlucky.
Jack Forbes saying another nickname, Glove Box. When he's full, you can't shut him up. There's a fair chance that's me as well. Do you like to talk?
Well, you and I tar with the same brush. It's not getting us to talk, it's the trick.
Shut up. There is a massive crowd here right now. I'm looking up and down this rink. There are people everywhere, packed 2 deep. The club's fairly full. Everyone along these windows is watching all the action here. Fantastic facility here at Foster. As Nick's bowl heads down on that wider hand, he's figured out that line really well. I don't know if it's run forward enough for another shot. Really close look here by Mason.
It's interesting. There's a few jumpers amongst the players. Only a few. Plenty in their shirt sleeves, maybe a vest. But the spectators mostly pretty well rugged up. A few pairs of shorts, but plenty of jeans and jumpers and beanies. Breeze maybe just getting a little bit of a bite to it. Yeah,
Breezy's kicking across now. We've just been watching the flags, which are right in front of us here where we are sitting in commentary, and they every now and again they gust right up and look like the wind is flying, and there's a fairly constant breeze out there, which is why the players are running down that side. Brendan with the old Cadbury.
Glass and a half's all it takes, yes.
That's it. In AFL parlance, we used to call him a capper. Just needed a cap, a Warwick capper. Well, he's not happy with that run. Well, let's see what happens here with what Nick calls. He's got a bowl left there, obviously. Yeah, Mason's showing some frustration there. I've just watched him kick Nick's bowl across to the mat. Flicked his hands around a little bit, swung his towel around. He's not happy.
Well, someone's saying, Tomo, the tank is definitely a glove box. Well, Dave Croft, I think I have to disagree. You don't have to get him full and you can't shut him up. You just can't shut him up. Hope Tomo's watching. Dave Thomas joined us in commentary during the Champion of Champions.
Well,
shouldn't have joined us so early, but he blew his section.
Hit and sit. That was a good shot by Nick Cahill there. He just put enough weight on it to rest on his back bowls. Looks like the tape coming out for the rest. It's 3 at least for Soldiers Point. I'm not really hoping at the moment we don't end up with another blowout game.
Well, at least Engadine's already scored 3 times more than we had our losers score in the last round.
That was either 3 or 4. I missed the call a little bit.
Yeah, it was very quick. They knew what they were signalling. Well, I think it was 4.
It's 4. Wow, a 4 is a big score for Soldiers Point. So 10-3 at the moment after 5 ends. And I'll just update the scores on the other side. The middle rink looked like an 11 there somehow. But I may be wrong. Oh, I'm wrong. That's good eyesight, Ben. 5-4-4. So that hasn't changed. They're still playing the end. And Pam again standing just in front of the board. So 6-3 on 5.
Yep.
So that's the up-to-date scores on the live feed. And 21-10 so far to Soldiers Point. And a pretty handy lead early.
And we've got Lee Stinson here, who wasn't expecting to be working this afternoon. He's declined the offer to come into commentary. He's going to go and drown the deep sorrows.
Yeah, that really game. It's good to see the reigning Australian Open triples champion, or one of them, joining us on the feed, Dave Caldwell. It's an unusual one from 2013. I
actually thought Lee was a special to get to the final of this event. He's appreciating the joke. He's laughing along. That's good.
I'm going to leave you here alone for a second, Andrew, and go and take some photos. I'll be back shortly.
All right. Billy plays a pretty good one here. He's just going to get the outside of that bowl and fall out. Chris Roberts, Jaffa on the mat. Giving it plenty of grass, just needs to come back and stop. It has got Mason Lewis's interest. Very well played. That's the shot. Engadine's chances are 13 behind, just on a quarter of the way through this game. Just want to fight back over the next 10 ends or so, get it down into the low single figures. The important thing is not to try and bridge that gap in the next 2 or 3 ends, but it is a 63 end game. You only have to be in front after the 63rd. Chris just sent that one a little further. Quite appropriate that Chris is using the orange bowls with the nickname Jaffa. Terry Antram not on the mat now. Started off in Western Sydney, played with St John's Park for a number of years, Terry. Been regarded as one of the better bowlers in New South Wales for many years. Retired from representative bowls a few years ago. Might still play for Zone 2 occasionally, but doesn't play state anymore. Might be able to lure him into the over 40s soon. And John's players seem to be preferring the windward side, the wider draw. This one's got the Engadine interest as well, but just appears to be blowing a little bit of smoke. Yeah, just going to pull up a little short. I might see a bit of an attacking option here. I think on this green, the mid-weighted shots that bit more difficult with the effect of the wind. So they're going big, and he's got two of them out. I think that's exactly the way he planned to do it, but he's quite happy to get the left and the right rather than the right and the left. And just needs a yard on the last. Not coming back quickly enough. Ahoy. He's might be a state over 60s player from memory. Cahill looks to be pretty well down. Bill Ahoy in the state senior squad, vying for a place in the senior side to play Victoria in August and go on and represent New South Wales in Perth at the Nationals, Australian Senior Sides Championship. I'm just looking at their path. Two bowls left in this end. Oh, attacking line has his team's interest. Is it swinging too much? Oh, well. Got a slide, run and touch. Mason Lewis is looking, maybe looking to draw. Great bowl from Moz. So, just gets Engadine back in this, in the momentum. One to Engadine. Would help. Wayne Rudiger's picked up another couple of shots. And 12 shots in the big board now after 16 ends. Oh, decent start from Sam. Just a little bit past. Matt Johnson a bit quick on that one as well. I'm not sure what the toe tap from Sam Ferguson means, whether that's she thinks it's good. Certainly interested in this one coming down. Just going to pull up, or good part of a metre shy of the jack. So Matt Johnson needs about 2 metres off his previous. Has made a correction. Just a little bit through. Chris Roberts just wants to draw past Sam Ferguson's bowl. Plenty of speed on this though. It's the edge of Matt Johnson's last bowl and goes right through to the back. A little bit speedy. Ahoy. A little bit under the line. His weight not too bad. Really going to rip right across at that last bit though. Jaffa just looking to reduce the speed, shorter length. Seems to have caught the players out a little. And he's still going to be a little on the runny side. It's not too bad. Be close to counting. No one's really nailed this so far. Billy Ahoy looks to have much better grasp on this bowl. Well, he's just inside the front one. And John's turn. Just going to draw the open hand. Wants to get past the front bowls by half a metre or more. The wind's not quite as strong. Little edge would be good. Well, that's got the friendly edge and run on. That's the shot. I think Cahill indicates one down to Terry Antram. Tez be looking for same sort of draw up there that Ian was. Well, that one ran onto the jack. Mason Lewis just went up and marked it. Terry, good line, just yeah, maybe a metre and a quarter short. Well, Terry's looks to be a bit more intent with this one. Might be a bit on the quick side. Just inside the shortish bowl, through to the back. Mason. Well, just, didn't quite get that one away correctly. We'll look to get some score updates from the other rinks for you ASAP. All the other matches. Can see the master board between Cabramatta and East Maitland. And East Maitland actually are in front at this stage. As I say that, the scoreboard's just been adjusted to be 16 apiece after, well, he says 10 ends on the board. Oh, that can't be right. I think it might be 20 ends, yes. As I say that, the side manager changed the ends over. Can't see the Nelson Bay main board. Oh, a further shot to Engadine. Tarrant Point 23-15 up over St John's Park after 19 ends. We've got the Nelson Bay score for you ASAP. Masterboard tucked into a position we can't see from commentary. Well, the Jets are up 20-9 after 21 ends. Bill Ahoy next up to play is Matt Johnson now. Well, his reaction says he's not quite sure that's going to get down all the way. That's a pretty fair effort. That'll be close to the shot. Chris Roberts, backhand. Yeah, that one just a little bit short again. He'd be in the mix. Billy, not too far away either. A little bit runny. Depends on what he gets. He's got the gap. Chris Roberts doesn't need much correction on this, and he looks like he's going to get his own bowl and run in. But definitely one. He may have just pushed it a little far to no longer be two, but we'll see what happens. Would expect closer ones to come in over the course of this end anyway. Ahoy just left a little on the shy side. And Johns looks to be a bit direct at this point. It's going to come in nicely, actually. That's the shot. May have just fattened that up enough for Terry Antram, though, to give him a sight. Tez has got the bowl away. Doesn't want to be short. He has dropped that one quite a bit short. That may be a real pest. Oh, and it's just a little bit through with that one. She's got one on one and behind. Terry Antram not going to muck around now. Missed on the sides, taking a couple of bowls out. Mason Lewis holding at least two. Want to get around that one now. Just going to get a little fade and run past. Probably happy with that to cover. Nick Cahill lining up for fire one. Gone big. Got the closest one right through. Mason Lewis have to decide whether he's going to try and just draw forehand or backhand. Might decide to go forehand to not fatten up that target at all. Nick's just had a big drive, so you'd almost think he'll be playing an attacking shot again. Wants to get past those bowls, just a bit on the shy side. Might be a chance that Nick will actually go at that pack of bowls and try and get them all. There's a risk of dropping a big number, he won't. Well, they're looking at what happens if the jack comes out the side there. They're at best back, so they may just see a running shot here. A little bit of attacking. Reminder that our coverage will continue tomorrow with the semi-final and final. Coming to you live from Foster Bowling Club. And if you have just tuned in, you're watching the 2022-23 BCiB State Open Pennants. It's Grade 1 quarter-final. Engadine and Soldiers Point. Soldiers Point snuck in this morning with a good win. Just improved their point score enough to finish ahead of Midi Leagues and Corrimal. Was 2. 10-7 after 8 ends. Takes the total up to 26-19 after 22, so the lead has dropped down in the last few ends. Good start from Sam Ferguson. And Matt Johnson just in behind. Very good bowl. Good start to the head. Sam will be looking for just a little more running. Down pretty well. Has put only one bowl on it. Just a bit short of Jack High, I feel that Sam Ferguson's bowls are, and Matt Johnson, well, he's gone wide. Chris Roberts. Doesn't want to move the jack, but wants to get in behind and as close as possible. Oh, it's got good cover. That ball is very good home. Would count and cover. Chris Roberts doesn't need a lot of correction on this one. Just a little less weight. He'll be happy to run into those shorter bowls. Yeah, he's pushed his own up, own team. Sat in front of the jack.
Attention, please, Kevin, manager, telephone reception, Kevin.
Billy Ahoy shanked that one. It's not going to quite get there. And Johns will make her way down to play her first bowl of this ninth end.
Your attention, please, Supervisor Kevin, telephone reception, please. Or Nadine, could you come to reception?
And will line up on her forehand. The 4 bowls on the way in on that hand are all Engadines, so draw through those. Any contact is good. She's got the contact on her mind and pushed that one a little bit too hard. No, it's probably just a bit wide for the shot, actually. Terry Antram can afford to be just a fraction tight. There's bowls to sit on. He's going to sit on Chris Roberts' bowl, stay. I think no one's second. So just looking for a slightly tighter line towards the jack. And this one is going to rip right across on her. The first one just hung a little bit, but once they're turning across there, they're really going across the head. Well, Cherry just a little bit on the heavy side there. Runs through, got the outside, straighten him away from the shot. Oh, Mason, that same idea. Forehand draw through their own bowls. If he's in the pack, he's good. Well, he's just going to go around. Well, really ripped across the head there. Thought he was going to have a chance to sit and run in, but has missed a lot. Well, weren't that enthusiastic celebrations there. They may have brought another one in. The last bowl of the head now, Nick Cahill to deliver. I think he'll still be playing his backhand, looking just to get down to the shot bowl or the jack. Oh, he's going quick, hoping to get rid of the big pack. Well, he got rid of the shot bowl. Might have been a bit fortuitous to get it off that short bowl, but nevertheless he's got a result. Was one more to Engadine. So Engadine have scored 5 shots in 4 ends to get back to 8-10 down. So after being 10-3, they call it back to 8-10. And we're back to 3 shots the difference on the main board, 23-26. Engadine trailing Soldiers Point after 26 ends. Which it might be 28 to 25 ends. Great start from the leads. Chris Roberts, perfect bowl. Billy Ahoy down. Chris Roberts, a near front toucher. Jaffa just looking for a repeat dose of his first bowl. Perhaps he's going back to the back. And looking to add another counter here. Just wants to get under that bowl. Just going to sit on the outside. Antram attacking. Well, he's got one of the short bowls out. And John's backhand draw, just looking to get inside those bowls that are just beyond jack high. Oh, just a little quick. Antram attacking again, looking for contact. Just missed. Well, they're just looking to see where that jack will go if Nick Cahill gets the plant of the back bowl of the shot bowl. Well, he's covered the back. Cahill looking for a swinging shot. Has collected one of the balls near the head, but run right through. And out of bounds. Moz just covers again.
So slow. Have you got the other three scores or not? Have you got scores? Have you got scores from there or not?
Not recently. So you got Google Sheets on your phone?
You just want to, do you want to give me some scores for that?
Well, another count for Engadine. Actually a 3. So after being well behind on this rink, they've now in front. Well, the Masterboard's now decided it's yep, they've corrected the rinks, the ends on the far rink to be 9. It was saying 8, it's 9. So the Masterboard now one shot the difference. Engadine and Soldiers Point. Engadine one in front, 27-26. Big fight back here on this rink. They have now scored 8 unanswered shots. So after dropping 4 shots on the 5th end to trail 10-3, now scored a 1, a 1, a 2, a 1 and a 3 to lead 11-10. 11-10. And we just got, Stephen Lee was not playing now. We've sent him out to get some score updates for us. We'll have those updated in just a moment. It's well, they've just put the score differently again. They did have 24-20. They've now got 23-22 in the clash between Cabramatta and East Maitland after 30 ends. St John's Park 22, trail Tarrant Point 28 after 27 ends. And the Terrace are now up over Nelson Bay 30-13 on 30 ends. So just approaching the halfway match mark in all of our matches. Jaffa going to put another beauty down. Just drew a little bit narrow there. His first one's a ripper. Really Ahoy though looking to just get down to it. He's on a good line. Not going to hold his line. Just lays that one over. Might have made just a fraction more difficult. Halfway through it. The end. Third's now to play.
So Ben's back from taking photos and using his own name as third person, which is a very Trumpian thing to do. So sorry about that, everyone. But what has happened to that scoreboard? Things have changed since I was here last.
Yeah, well, you departed and Engadine came to life.
My goodness, 5 ends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ends in a row after my departure. That's incredible.
Yeah, well, it was 10-3. We're looking at another blowout score, and then
Soldiers Point got that 4 is the last thing I saw. And since then it's 1-1, 2-1, 3.
It's just stirred them into action, apparently.
And the big board's really close as well. This is going to be a cracker. The atmosphere out there is, to use the old cliche, electric. There's tension everywhere. Everyone's cheering and carrying on. This is what bowls and a good sporting event should be all about. It's absolutely fantastic.
And John's looking just to add another bowl here to the count. It's coming to a good home because we know Soldiers Point are not going to meekly surrender this.
Not going to fold.
Nick, very attacking style of play. Just struggled to get the right results here, but Terry Antram, this looks very close.
He's going to edge it. Yes, he has.
He's kicked the jack across. Well, no one's celebrating anyway.
Yeah, they're all going for a look. So what's changed?
Who scored?
Who scored? They've taken control of the...
Yeah, look, I think Chris Roberts has played some really good bowls. Sam's been leading solidly. And John's been there or thereabout. Moz, he drew a couple of really good shots under pressure. So I think it's just been an all-round team thing, and the Soldiers Point, where they were getting everything earlier, aren't.
Just aren't. Just a shift in... slight shift in play can happen like that. I'm looking at the wind, and I was actually watching it while we were out there. It shifted a little as well, by the way. And Moz just not quite there with that one. Shakes his head. He's a pretty... Wears his heart in his sleeve, just a bit like my mate Frank over there. Nick Cahill with those big, wide, swooping bowls. Oh, he's pushed Jack.
He's got a hold of it and trailed it back. He may have even stayed with it enough to be the shot.
Yeah, once again, not much celebration. It's not like over there, Tarrant Point jumping around like crazy people, and so are St John's.
Oh, Tarrant Point are crazy people.
Oh, that's right. We've got Ali over there who doesn't mind a yell, the old Leighton Hewitt, come on! He's echoing around there.
Oh, Dave Axon's also exceptionally animated. Raises the odd one out there. He's the quiet achiever.
Oh, he was yelling as well. One of his big slams went through and managed to even get a rise out of him.
Wow. Certainly we're approaching the halfway stage and on track to finish just about 5 o'clock-ish. And from what we gathered yesterday, it was starting to get a little bit on the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
Then.
We had sunset at 4:56, which probably means it's about 4:55 today. And if they hit 5 o'clock, then
we should be 4:57 then, because we're past the solstice.
Oh, my apologies. I went the wrong way. You're right. Past the solstice.
We've got an extra minute today. Please don't make the day shorter. I'm already struggling to get home in the dark normally.
That's right. And now we're here today. Oh, I'll just wait for a second. I know, I'll call that out while they're having a good look at the head. We're here today thanks to Bowling Club Insurance Brokers, or BCiB, and they're the #1 insurance broker for clubs in New South Wales. They have a solid reputation for professionalism and providing quality personal advice. BCiB are also a big financial supporter of the sport of bowls.
And they have been for a long time. They've been supporting pennant competitions, particularly in New South Wales, for, over 20 years. They focus on bowling clubs and they put back into the game as well. And when you've got a bloke like Steve Glasson and Kelvin Kirko as your brand ambassador, you know they're serious about using bowlers.
Yeah, Glasso is a legend of the sport.
Although he admits he's getting a bit old now.
That happens to the best of us.
If you're watching on, Steve, happy 103rd birthday. Well, no, I can give Steve some cheek because he'll give it back. Has got a very good sense of humour, Steve Glasson. And if you ever get the chance to have him as a guest speaker at your club, he does a wonderful job. Well, Soldiers Point have arrested the slide somewhat. Yeah. They picked up a 1 to get back to even terms.
After losing 5 in a row and then, jumping back in.
Leading by 7 and then trailing by 1. Now all square. Now, don't you love it, the bloke whose nickname's Jaffa uses orange bowls?
Oh, come on. As if that's not deliberate. That
I think it's got that ring of authenticity, that self-humour.
That's it. Someone who's comfortable within themselves.
Does a great job as the manager of Engadine Bowling Club as well. Ask you to point, when you've done that, you can point the camera at the masterboard over the other side. Try not to blind yourself with the sun coming off the windscreens.
It's 28-23, looks like Cabra 28, East Marlin 23, after 33 ends.
Okie dokie. And can you see the board on that corner?
I probably can.
23-27.
Oh, I think it's bigger than that. 23-37, I think I'm getting there.
Well, Tarrant Point's grabbed control then.
Yeah, 23-37 on. Oh, that man just walked in right in front of it.
Looks like 31 to me.
It is 31.
Yeah, so Tarrant Point's had a couple of big counts in the last few ends. And can you see the last one?
I don't think I'm that clever.
No, I think there's too many bodies in the path.
A huge crowd out there.
So what I might do is I might get you to call a few bowls.
Yeah, no worries at all.
And I'll go and have a look.
We're pretty lucky in here at the moment to be able to have both of us to call this for you and have it break and rest our voices. A big final, big couple of finals again tomorrow with the semi and the main one. Well, the Leeds have done a good job here. And Chris the Mustache with those orange bowls is coming down on his forehand on that wider hand. So far looks like it's going to cross, but it's got a little weight. Oh, and a really, really quite good weighted shot, just missed.
Or the Port Stephens battle. The Jets lead the Marlins 31-15 on 33, so that's Raymond Terrace up over Nelson Bay. So they've gone past the halfway mark. I think the Jets would have entered that game as very firm favourites. However, firm favourites does not win a game.
No, exactly right. We've seen, you always see upsets and strange occurrences in bowls. And Chris just pushing that one pretty wide, actually. The People's Mustache calling for just a little touch. Pretty happy with the way that everything's positioned there at the moment.
Well, that one looks to be speeding through. Tez is.
He's rushed that through to the ditch. Probably a good miss in the end. Well, that sun's really coming down now. It's across into the windows. Sunsets pretty quickly.
Don't tell it that. It might take slower for us.
That is true.
There's a great atmosphere out there. It's very warm here where we are through the windows, but quite pleasant moving out to get that score. The breeze coming along just cooled me down.
It is absolutely beautiful out there at the moment.
The playing comfort looks to be really good. I mean, most of the players short sleeves.
That's it.
I feel like Anne have the pants on.
And a vest.
There's one or two vests or jumpers. Ray Pearce has probably still got the hoodie on.
He does. He does over there. He likes looking like that.
A few of the spectators are a little rugged up. I suppose not moving around. They might be just feeling the cold a little more.
But it's not like Dubbo. We're not playing in sleet, and that's a handy thing.
It's not like the temperature is around home when I'm leaving for work around the 4:30, 5:30 mark.
No, definitely not.
Actually, I had the gloves and beanie on just to get out of the car. Gloves and beanie get worn for about 6 minutes a day between the car and the house, the car and the train station.
Oof. And just running past a little there. Really good home. Good for catching when that one gets touched, and I do say when because that's what's likely to happen.
So for anyone who has joined us recently, you are watching the 2022-23 BCiB State Open Pennants. This is Grade 1 coming to you live from Foster Bowling Club in the beautiful Manning Valley. Foster, 4 fantastic greens hosting the entire event. We're up to quarter-final stage. And we are featuring Engadine and Soldiers Point. We've just passed the halfway mark, and the big board has just gone to all square. Just trying to check which rink it is that's added another shot. It's the middle one, I think. 12-9.
How far left?
6-9.
6-9.
6-9 after 11. So Mick Beasley's just scored a shot to bring it to all square. So Beasley 6, Murray 9 after 11.
Oh, wow, what a shot by Nick Cahill.
Wow.
Fantastic draw. Those balls just move a mile. That really surprised me. I didn't think that was coming in at all. Worthy celebrations at the back here.
Colin Litfin leads Rain Rudiger 12-9 after 11, and of course it's 11-11-11. All the 11s, 22. Oh, no, it's a bingo call, isn't it? A friend of mine's father gave him $2 on his 11th birthday. Said he was giving him $1 for each one. Yeah, I know, terrible.
Good laugh out of me.
Aussie just looking to get a little bit of speed into this. Wants an edge.
Wants anything. He's shot past.
Yeah, he wanted the edge of the wide bowl to scoot him in towards the jack. Didn't get it. And it's another counter for the Dolphins.
And the boys having a bit of a chat down here, the Soldiers Point boys.
Just the one, I think, wasn't it?
Going to find out. Yep, just one. Nick Cahill's amazing draw shot there. Having a word to his lead. Just telling him to check the length. That's what the he and the third were doing just then.
Do like having a chat to lead sometimes like that if I'm playing skip and saying, let's make it look like we're being tactical. Just chuck whatever you want. It doesn't worry me, but make him think we're thinking.
Give the old, your length, mate, your length. And then walk away.
I say I play all lengths equally badly.
I doubt that.
Well, you think I'm worse at one than another, obviously, then.
Clearly.
Yeah. It depends on the day for me.
Look, Matty, not happy with that. I missed that chunk in the middle, but look, he's a pretty consistent bowler. So that's a bit of a surprise from him.
I feel he's been playing okay. It's a bit like everybody with this breeze just varying a little bit. It's been hard to get into that consistent rhythm. And there's been the odd bowl that's really gone with the bias or pushed out against with the breeze. And true or not, I feel that if the bowl goes out, if the wind blows the bowl out, often it'll run a little further as well because it hasn't travelled that arc back to the jack, so it'll actually travel further along the green. It makes it very hard to correct.
Oh, he's running to himself and knocks himself up and not happy with himself. He's right here in front of us in the outside the glass. That magnificent beard, and he's very disappointed.
Oh, Engadine's just edged back to the lead. Soldiers Point's just edged back to the lead. I know why I'm getting myself confused. I've got this. That's easy to fix, though. So our rink scores, the correct ones, Lewis 11, Cahill 12 after 12, Rudiger 12, Litfin 10 after 12, and Murray trails Beasley 6-9 after 11, which gives us Engadine 29, Soldiers Point 31 after 35.
Two shots in it after 35 ends is very close, and that's what we'd like to see in a quarter final. Bit of a shame this afternoon. This morning with the game we saw was a bit of a blowout.
Yeah, it would uncharacteristic. The Corey Wedlock's team, they look rattled the whole game.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit mind blown by that one. That caught me off guard.
So I think one of the things, though, is we expect someone like a Corey Wedlock to come out and draw a resting toucher or hit a drive, bang in the middle, and sink the jack under the number every time they play. Just as the Formula One drivers crash their car occasionally, or the motorbike riders lay it over,
That's it.
our bowlers aren't always going to hit the peak of their form when they want it.
Yeah, we'd love them to be perfect. But they'd love to be perfect.
It'd get boring, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. This game's hard. If it wasn't hard, we wouldn't play it.
I think it's a combination of the good days and the bad days that keep you coming back. The good days you say, oh, I'm going to do that again, and the bad days you say, I can't play that bad again.
That's it, the challenge of always being better.
Well, the team that's going to go on and win the AFL Premiership lost by how many the other day? 171?
I'll quiet you. I know. That's all right. Swannies went down last night by a couple of points in the most bizarre... Oh, no, it was a draw, wasn't it? Last night, that was the most bizarre kick at the end. Footy's not why we're here. We got Anne coming down here with her team down at least one shot. She's played this pretty well. It's going to cross in and bump. Oh, we'll have a look. I reckon that might be the one.
Well, you keep an eye on the comments here. Robin Lewis is at Lambton. As tells us that Port City is leading Leichhardt 28-24 after 32.
Oh, wow.
And Wagga Rules leading Pittwater Memorial 35-21 after 32. Well, must say I don't mind the idea of Wagga Rules having a victory there because I happen to know the bowls coordinator. Brett Pieper's done a pretty good job down there. They love him. And he's organising the club and got it firing, got some social bowls happening, some barefoot. It's a pretty good club, the Wagga Rules Club too, so he's supporting.
Just early saying go Wagga Rules.
Mind you, Pittwater's not a bad place either.
They're pretty well supported down there.
And I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Leichhardt, little small club in the inner city.
I love Leichhardt. That's one of my favourite little clubs. They're hidden away in the suburbs there behind, just off Norton Street, and one of the most picturesque clubs I've seen, I think.
And they're just celebrating a major milestone in the number of years they've been operating. And one of their bowlers is one of our leading disability bowlers in New South Wales who does a lot of work towards the disability group, Jeff Seaton.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nick Cahill. I do think he's one down. We haven't had any indication either way.
Well, the way he's lining up, I reckon he's not holding.
He's going for a crack.
Either that or there's a bowl worth a fortune.
Oh, he scattered him.
Well, Terry Antram just stuck one finger up.
Oh, magic fingers for the test.
I'm a definite non-fan of the
I know, yeah.
the finger guesstimate method. I don't mind anyone else using it. But, yeah, no.
No. No, I know, mate.
I mean, I may as well throw some tea leaves in the air to determine which one's the shot doing that.
So what's Moz got here? A lot of space. He's got a fair, fair draw. And Scott Dusty Tougher there is just saying, done correctly, the fingers work well. I haven't figured
Scotty
it out.
Toga.
Toga, sorry. There you go. His name looks like Tougher. That's what I'd claim it was. Here comes Moz. Oh, it's not going to turn in.
There's a couple of Togas used to play down in my neck of the woods in Illawarra. No, Scott was one of them. Trevor certainly was.
So here's the measure. Watching intently the skips. Oh, it's a close measure. They're still, they're going backward and forward a few times here. No time for fingers here. Oh, it's just, replacing it. Ian's going to have a measure as well. I didn't see any other bowls there counting, and they haven't kicked any way to indicate that, so it may just be between these two.
There's another reason I won't use the fingers is because as an accredited ITO, we're told don't do that. We might see.
Umpire's call. Here comes Pam, speaking of ITOs.
Well, she was lurking in the background.
She was.
Laser at measure at ready.
She saw.
Absolutely
saw
keen to leap into action. Loves being out there doing this job, Pam.
Yeah, she does. She loves the game. She's from down south as well, isn't she?
She's actually a member at Engadine.
Oh, goodness. So
maybe we shouldn't have had her on this game, but no, as an ITO,
No,
I will never question
No,
that she'd. I know Pam would. She would sooner ingest some foul concoction than to make anything other than a decision of fact.
She knows her job.
She is absolutely pedantic on enforcing the strict letter of the laws.
Barbara Green there saying Pam loves her laser and she's good with it too. I agree. Wouldn't want to put it out there with a lightsaber. Might get dangerous, but excuse me, that's me nerding on again. But we're here thanks to BCiB, who are the #1 insurance broker for clubs in New South Wales with a solid reputation for professionalism and providing quality and personal service. BCiB are a big financial supporter of bowls, and I can tell you that Chris's bowl was the shot. No, I'm wrong. No, that is Chris from...
that was the second shot, then.
The second shot, yeah.
I would imagine that one was the second shot.
So it must have been one, yeah.
Yep, Scott says that was him when he was at Taraji. And won the state ones, yep. Oh, Scott, you play at Taraji all the time? I think, did Trevor play at Fairy Meadow? Let me know, because I'm a bit dusty on the memory from that far back. There are some things I don't remember. I do remember playing against both Trevor and Scott.
So 13-11 on that board, on 13 ends. From Soldier's Point just got the one out of there. What a great start, Matt. Wowee. It's tough to do drawing that close to a bear, Jack. It really is. It's what all the leads are trying to do. And that's just hard work and a great shot.
How good is it, though, when you roll the jack and you nail that one like that in your first bowl?
Oh, it just makes you happy.
Oh, Sam, good metre and a half short. We've pushed the length out here. We're playing Matt near the tee and to about 24, 25 metres when Engadine had the power. But now that Soldier's Point have got it, the Matt's probably come up a little bit. The jack is right up near the tee, so good. Probably four or 5 metres difference in the length. just caught Sam with the first bowl. Didn't catch her with the second. That's actually a really good correction. It may be a good metre through or so, but I would much rather you be a metre through than short again.
Exactly right. Then just while we're here, I'm just got reminded Paul Goddard from down at Husky Bowling Club's on the line in Zone 7, and I'm just thinking about around the grounds. If you want to get your results and keep up to date on what's going on around the rinks for these finals, for the pennant finals, jump on the Bowls Link website or the Bowls Now app, and which you can get from either Android or Apple, whichever way you choose, and you'll have all the results possible there. It's a fantastic app, that Bowls Now. I recommend it highly.
So you'll be able to just see the up-to-date scores at the completion of all matches, the ladders, the final series, the teams involved.
Nick watching this one closely. It's come around. It was his lead on the jack. Just watching.
Well, Billy's just gone through. Matt Johnson, of course, what a bowl to open this end. But Jaffa's, he's being a bit positive here. He could sit that bowl nicely, but it's just going to hold on a little too long. It's got the thunk, but that one, well, it'll stop, but it'll stop in the sand.
We all end up in the sand at some point.
The Albatross says the sand stops them every time. Terry Antram looks to be pretty well down.
Yeah, he's got a bit of adjustment to make off his last one. I'm just watching It's going to live through the window. It's going to rest on the. Oh,
I've got to say though, Ben, I love your idea of calling the laser measure a lightsaber. we need to get some sound effects. So next time Pam's called out, when she gets the laser out, you want to.
Oh wow!
And for anyone who doesn't get what we're talking about, go off and watch Star Wars.
And if you've not seen Star Wars, fix that immediately. Not the last three.
Well, do you know why 4, 5 and 6 were filmed before 1, 2 and 3?
And what a shot there, just replacing that bowl.
Fantastic. How to play a bowl. 4, 5 and 6 were filmed before 1, 2 and 3 because Yoda, the director he was.
Oh, this is happening.
Terry Antram, good intent, just a little on the wide side. It's gone through the ditch too. Gee, that run really run on, didn't it?
We've got the production guys. It's just a.
Ben's just got the lightsaber sound effect going and had our production guys worried that there was a little gremlin in the sound system.
Something, yeah.
That's the gremlin on the end of the microphone.
Harder to get rid of.
Probably more dangerous too.
Yeah, don't feed me after midnight, apparently. But tough shot here now for Nick. Look, it's hanging out there. Jack's exposed. He's got bowls back. There's bowls everywhere, and but hands bowl. I think that was wonderful. Just one of the best shot I've seen her play today, and she's played some good ones.
Middle rank Soldiers Point have scored. I just saw the indication to the managers. So that's going to go close, but no cigar. Oh, there's a couple more shots to go on the other end rink too. 6-12 on 13 now.
Here comes Mozzie.
Soldiers Point, they've edged ahead.
Yeah, big comeback until I sat down. Maybe I should, for Engadine's sake, get up and go again. That's really good weight, and really wanting it to fall over.
Apparently 7 or 8 Engadine supporters have volunteered to take you out for a drink.
Immediately, let's go.
Well, there's 8 shots in the big board now after 40 ends. So Soldiers Point jumped out to the lead. Engadine roared back and just edged ahead.
Oh, quick shot here by Nick. He's missed. Kind of threw a fairly delicate on shot there for him anyway, for Nick's standard, who's like me runs very quickly, but expecting it to turn those aerospace bowls that he's using. Let's see what Moss got. He's probably follow his last one down, I think, which is that white wing bowl there, or the blue and white wing bowl.
Well, a tilt tray tow vehicle's sitting over there over the road. It's been sitting over there a while. Is it trying to recover the wreckage of Warilla's campaign?
Oh, I like that. Just hoping it's not trying to tow our van.
It's parked. It's parked down that way today, isn't it?
I can't remember.
Went to the other side just to confuse you again.
That's right.
Well,
so 1 to
Engadine, I think. Sam's got the mat.
Sam
so
has the mat, yeah.
I believe it was just the one. And they put one on the master board, so we'll give it 1 on the one here. No one's changed our rink scoreboard as yet. And Matt's back at the tee again. So Engadine's gone back to their go-to length. Matt on the tee, rolled it. Well, we're on the line. So probably around about the 23 metres, I'd say.
Yeah, pretty minimal length. Definitely not the minimum length. But,
and before anyone from overseas says 23 is the minimum. 23 is the minimum unless varied by a domestic regulation, which is in play for playing Australia, where 21 metres is the minimum distance for a jack to be legally delivered. Just more of the useless information that I do know.
yeah.
Useful,
depending on your point of view. Sound like useless information at all. Oh, that's unfortunate by Matt there, just knocking Sam across into the jack. It's hanging out. It's still exposed. It's Matt just got an unfortunate rub on the wrong side there. Wow, I think.
Well, here's where, as a lead, you go, well, okay, my bowl is closer. I've got to make sure I'm up, and Sam's done just that.
She has done exactly that.
And look, even if you're a fraction tight and turned your own bowl again, you might just make it a little tougher to get at. And Matt Johnson, he's got to make sure he's reaching again. You're not running at the bowl as a lead. And I think he's done that a little bit. One of the worst things a lead can do when the opposition puts one near is to try and deliberately run past taker's place. You end up being 2 metres past. Your second does the same thing. Your third jumps on the mat 4 down, in trouble. And if they fail, your skipper's under horrible pressure.
Good effort by Chris, deliberately not disturbing anything there, but still pulling up short, sadly. Enough for the enough for his skip to run into later maybe. Will be an influential bowl.
Pretty well down from Billy Ahoy.
Mm.
He has had the attacking, but he's only a foot or so past. And on this green, a foot or so past, pretty good bowl.
So what you know about Billy Ahoy? That's a remarkable name. It's really appealing to me as a sailor, I can tell you. An ex-sailor.
I know he's a proud Indigenous man. Originally from up around the Armidale area. And a member of our over 60s state squad. And a bloke who bobs up winning events all over the place. Loves his bowls.
Plays pretty well too, frankly.
He does know that the little ring goes on the inside.
He's just walked inside, actually, I think. Got himself a drink.
You could yell out Ahoy Billy and see if he comes over.
I'm sure he gets that a lot. So, and with one of the great bowls at the last end, he's playing this side on the wide hand, either looking to rest Chris in a little bit. There's a lot of space there, except for that one bowl of Sam's. Oh, she's very short.
Yeah, just forgot one thing there.
It's only one thing.
There's only two things you need.
Yeah.
It's grass and weight. They're controlled by two other things, which is ability and temperament.
And temperament.
And that's where the system fails for most people, in one of those two. I know the theory, but actually getting the theory into practice, and we saw it this morning.
100%.
Corey just looked out of sorts and couldn't get back on track.
Just giving a good eye on that wind. Doesn't shift it at all. It did yesterday about this time. About 4, nearly about 3:30 to 4 o'clock yesterday it shifted. Right now, just as the sun's getting in our eyes, or not yours, you've got some good protection. Still, the sun's dropping enough to make me want to put my sunglasses on, even through the tinted window.
Well, at the moment, I've got the
one
support
column.
beam, the one column there in the middle. It's the shadow's right over my face. I'm perfectly positioned.
The shadows are lengthening down there and on the green, and it's not really affecting the speed so far. See what Moz got here.
Well, I'm looking across at the scoreboard on the far corner across there.
Oh, great shot.
And I think I'm right in saying the score now.
Is that 61-41? Am I a bit blind?
Oh, I thought it was 41-41.
Oh. Well, here comes Nick Cahill. He's going to bash into those ones at the front and not really disturb the kitty at all. What'd you get?
I got the focused on the plant in the planter box just in front of us.
Roger that. It is 41 all on 41 ends.
So that's the Saints and the point. 41, 41, 41. So have a look over towards Cabramatta and East Maitland. Well, if you asked me to pick who was going to win that at the beginning of the game, I would have said, well, Cabramatta on paper, massively stronger.
But it's 33-35 on 43, and so
East
Cabra
Maitland
down.
is actually in front. So that's St John's Park. I'll check the Jets. I've actually got to get out of the seat to go and do that one.
Just this head, there's a bit of air of expectation here. Engadine holding a bit. Nick's got to move something here to make it it's a big important shot. So a very delicate, compact style. He's out wide, as he should be with those bowls. The players just jump in the way. It's coming through, and that's Jack. He's pushed it all the way back. He's very happy with that. Good celebration. It looks like he's holding two at the back there at least. Oh, yeah, there's two, and they're going to have a look for a third. Fantastic bowling by Nick Cahill.
Well, we're 2/3 of the way through in the Port Stephens battle. And it's the Jets leading the Marlins 41-22. So that's 42 ends for those who are trying to work out what 2/3 of it is.
And Matt just standing there in front of the camera, shaking his head around his celebration. This is a big number. What a magnificent shot by Nick Cahill. Just brought that wide swooping bowl in to carry Jack back far enough for a multiple and not run too far to mess that up. That's just an amazing display.
What's that?
4?
Was that 4 or 5?
I don't know. We'll see once the scoreboard jumps around. We'll give you the correct answer, but it's at least 4. They've only put 3 up, so I said at least 4, but I was wrong. So 16-12.
Well, Colin Litvin's picked up a few more shots as well. So the combination of that has just blown out to a 12-shot lead.
Yeah, exactly. And the big board, 12 shots is not what they would have wanted, or not what I expected when I sat down after running off to take photos. It's amazing. Matt again just a little bit further back behind Jack, but happy that it's there because as we've seen, Jack can move, so that'll be a handy one.
Well, Tarrant Point were leading early against St John's Park and became all square, so that'll be a good finish. And Point, as our mate Greedy would always point out, did win 3 state grade 1 pennants in a row.
He loves to point that out.
Doesn't need an invitation. And wanted to say it was the best ever performance until I pointed out that North Sydney, at the turn of the century previous, before I worked for Bowls New South Wales, had actually won the top grade of pennants 4 years in a row.
Sam chasing this one. Might be a knock on Jack, and it is. She's back there. That's 2 to her. Great lead bowling.
So that's when he changed his story to in the modern era.
The modern era.
So, yeah, look, can't discount that big performance to win 3 in a row. Has been done twice recently, once by Tarrant Point, once by Cabramatta. Very hard to string together 6 games at a state final series. I think it's a case of if you're going to lose one, you lose one early in your section and make sure you get through.
Yeah, it's a tough old game at times, and really hard to make finals and continue through to. Just hard to get here to win the grand final or win the final 3 times in a row is quite remarkable.
And all of our sides competing in our quarterfinals have put in an expression of interest to compete in the Platinum Pennants next year. Looking forward to that competition. Being a very sharp end, and we should be doing some streaming of that.
I can't wait for that. I'm really looking forward to the challenge.
I think it'll be you and I working together to make sure those games are streamed.
Good news.
Whether that's just you or just me or just one of us at event, that'll be all worked out in the near future. But we are looking forward to bringing some top quality bowls on a weekly basis. Now, whether that's 1, 2, 3, 4 games a week, don't know. Well, competition really starting to take planning shape now.
Oh, yeah.
And has renewed an interest in Grade 1 from a lot of clubs who said, well, now the elite clubs are out, we think we can compete.
Which, of course, changes this competition, this final series. Almost turns it on its head and gives more clubs the opportunity to get here.
Yeah, so Grade 1 will be a little different in format next year, which is a good thing, to try and just stimulate a bit of interest.
Try to convince my club to join the ones. I think they're probably got the skills to do it. Oh, just knocking that ball across. And finding a form.
2 shots, 2 solid points.
Yeah.
Well, Engadine did all the hard work to get right back to even state, and now they're 9 behind.
And they're 12 on the big board, so that's again a little turn up.
There's a little score to go back on there. I've just got to try and find who's scored. Unfortunately, there's bodies in front of boards.
It's hard to concentrate on keeping us happy when you're intently watching the game itself. So we understand.
Oh, let's try. Putting a number in.
So had some instructions here from Moz. There's been some good balls going down. There's 4 shots in it. And both teams playing really well. Which is after this. Got an edge, it's ducked through the hole. Just got nothing, but played the right weight, did everything right except for the last bit. So as the teams cross, I think Engadine's holding 1, but I could be wrong. It's hard to see. The glare there is pretty bad for me. What can you see there? Yeah, players. Just players.
I can see bums.
That's okay. So, Nick. Oh, Matt's running after him, wondering who that was. Yeah, Nick just coming in, looks a little heavy. If he sits on that back bowl, he's a chance. And rolled sideways at the same time. Bowls a funny game at times, and that did not look natural.
Can you see the far ring whether that's 8-12 or 9-12?
Let's have a look through the magic binoculars. That is 9-12 on 15.
That would explain why they have 34 on the board. There we go. So 9 on the big board.
Moz just running through. So since the last time we looked at the Tarrant Point St John's score, Tarrant Point's kicked away to a 51-42.
Well, so they've scored 11-1 in 4 ends.
It's that's a 2 and and a couple of 3s. That's pretty amazing.
Well, they've scored 11 in 2 4s and a 3. Wow.
Yeah, even better.
Well, they've got a couple of blokes there at the back end who can play that big conversion bowl. Ray Pearce, David Axon and Ali Forsyth.
Yeah, my mate Ali's a amazing man, amazing bowler, intimidating looking dude, and then what a generous man. Oh, this shot. Moz has moved Jack. Oh, big hands in the air. There's an indication. I'm not sure whether it was a celebration or whether it was just saying 4 there, but
Yeah, just one slight problem with that.
1 down.
There's a bowl in the way.
So we have 1 on the board. Which way? Sorry, my apologies. Soldier's Point is 1.
17-12 after 16 on our streaming rink. And 10 shots on the big board after 47 ends, 44-34. East Maitland also moving ahead over Cabramatta. It's now 33-41 after 46.
Unreal. Yeah, some even scores that are really just kicking away. So that one over there is
East Maitland and Soldiers Point are two sides that, well, basically they snuck into the top 2 in the quarterfinals this morning.
This would be a real turn up for Cabra. They wouldn't be expecting this. But they're a strong team. There's a long way to go. These games are more of a marathon than a sprint.
It's a good thing they're not a sprint. I'm watching Clay Parker walking up the green.
Yeah, long end here from Soldiers Point. That's the longest we've seen, I think, this game.
A decent opening bowl from Sam Ferguson. That was just a little bit through. Sam's drawn shot. That just needs to lose, well, 2 metres would be good. And he's back down with his other bowl. Decently pointed.
Yeah, wow, this is that's a lovely bowl. Absolutely lovely shot. Just sitting a couple of feet behind Jack there at the moment, but just jumping inside that back bowl is and for shot. Here comes Billy on the on that wider hand. I suggest he's going to cross the line. The question is where and where will he stop?
Giving the Jack a little kiss and made Sam's bowls closer. May have helped a bit by moving it sideways, but nice shot here for Jaffa, Chris Roberts. Nice draw down there. Little touch toward his own is okay. If he's just a fraction through, he matches Matt Johnson's bowls there at the back. That's not a bad effort. Just a
just out on
little bit high.
Yeah, a little bit high out on the wing there. I might believe it or not be third shot.
Could be.
Sitting in the shadow there makes it look a bit funny, but those back bowls seem to be a bit further back than you'd think. Oh, Billy just throws his hands up in frustration there. He's not happy with that bowl at all. Goodness.
That's just going to fall out as well. Chris, well, really, just a slightly tighter line. He has tightened it up.
Has tightened it up. Here it comes around now. And just, wanting a call. I was really telling that thing to stop.
That one from Chris, I'm not sure if it's in the count or not. And Terry Antram, well, he's going to switch over to the forehand. he has got Billy Ahoy's bowl on the way in and a couple of sit-on. Does look to be under the line. Trail on that hand is a very good result for them as well. Need to go with it. You see the indication from Moz to Jimmy and Mason to Ann. Backhand, just to get down to those two. Look, if you've got good weight on that, good grass, you finish on those two bowls. If you drop a little bit of weight, you're going to come into count. And if you're just a tad tight with good weight, a little tickle of that jack to your own bowls is not a bad result. Probably don't want to fatten this target up too much. We've seen Nick Cahill doesn't mind having a little ping. This is coming in. Now he's got a touch. Well, that is really good, but I think we'll see big smack. So let's tighten up that target. Like we said, they didn't really want to. A great bowl, just a little unfortunate to. And zoom straight through the sticks. Terry Antram could not get a roll with the Swans with that because he's absolutely able to put it through the middle hole. Well, Ann Johns doesn't need to do too much different. Oh, what she's going to do with this? Well, it's tight. Oh.
Well, push it back through to.
Well, it's probably might only be one now.
That is unlucky. Pinging that jack through that little gap. That is unlucky.
Yeah.
Just pinging that jack through that little gap is just so disappointing. You see it in the face.
If you wanted to be harsh, you'd say she was heavy and narrow. But fair dinkum, you're one bowl narrow. You miss the jack, sit your own bowls, and you're brilliant. So sometimes you miss, and you miss badly, but you haven't missed by much.
Exactly.
And Nick, forehand. Punching it down. He's not far off this. I think that might be shot.
Yeah, we've got players in the way. It's hard to tell. He's
just to rub salt into the wounds anyway.
Having a good hard look.
Well, just to boost the stocks of Engadine, Callum Murray's got it back to all square. And waiting, Rudiger. Got it back to all square.
Ooh, Cabramatta's up over there. 42-41 now after 49.
Wow. So Cabramatta scored 9 shots in 3 ends.
And not much change over on the other rink that we can see. 10 shots in it over there. Sorry, I didn't tell you what the exact score was. I'll just make sure I get that right. And other lads just standing in front of it at the moment. Look like 42-52 after 47. But I'll confirm that once the scrum of Tarrant Point get out of the way.
Oh, what does Nick Cahill do for an encore here? His bowls will turn.
They will turn. Has he got the speed on this? It keeps going. Well, I reckon he has. He's pretty happy. Wowee, what a shot.
Oh, what does Mason do here? He can't play backhand to move the jack.
And he's got that little gap on the. He's put his foot on that to smack it, try to smack it sideways, but that's all.
Well, the issue he's got is if he plays backhand, gets the chip on the jack, and hits Nick Cahill's bowl, he can make it 3 down. He's got his own bowl right on the bottom. You can just see it under the ticker. So Mason's looking for...
Oh, he has hit the front bowl and changed nothing.
I think it's a couple. One for sure anyway. I'm going to put the truth serum on.
Really making sure because it's close. Might be an umpire's call. And he's going to have a look. So it is. Matty giving the hats off to Nick, and Nick with the advantage of being able to throw the jack once more.
Well, near full length again. Just a couple of metres off. Jack right down to the tee.
Yeah, it can be quite a defensive thing to do when you're up a bit. You can throw the jack long, and it means that there's a little bit more random in the game. Random things can happen to bowls on the way down, gusts of wind, and that really precise bowl you can get on a short end, and the precise hits you can get on a short end just aren't there. That's my theory anyway.
Jack at the tee can make it that little bit harder to kill as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If you're chasing a few shots and you want the ability to kill, you'll usually put the jack right, the mat right back at the tee and roll the jack to the length you want so that it's further away from the ditch. And any angle you get on a kill is going to be more inclined to take it out.
Mm-hmm. How are we doing here, Matt? Has he adjusted and got one close?
Yeah, well, his
we
weight's
took the weight off.
Good. I think Sam still has shot. It's another one to Cahill Litfin on the middle rink. If anyone noticed, there's 200 and something ends played. Sorry about that. Little typo. Now 51 ends played and 8 the difference. One shot between Cabramatta and East Maitland with 12 ends to play. It's 43-42 in favour of the Bull Ants over the Griffins after 51 ends. Chris Roberts just sliding through. Almost called him Craig, but Craig, of course, plays for Warilla. Not sure they're related. Don't think so. Billy Ahoy good to hear. Just needs the brakes a little bit. Oh, he's used that bowler's brakes. Yeah. Dropped in. That one shot, says Nick.
Nick pretty happy with that. So 39.47 on the big board there. There's 8 shots between them. Long way to go in this game. Still for 8 shots, as we've seen all around. How's Chris done there?
Oh, I think he's just out. So Callum Murray, Mick Beasley, 12 all after 16. Wayne Rudiger and Cohen Litfin at 16-15 after 18 to Cohen. And on our feature ring, there's 7 shots lead for Nick Cahill over Mason Lewis. The 7, pretty much the difference between the two sides at the moment. And Soldiers Point, they started brilliantly. They, on this ring, Engadine won the first end, got a single. Before Soldiers Point got a pair of 3s. Engadine a 2, and then Soldiers Point a 4 to lead 10-3. And we thought Engadine just smacked into it. They got 1-1, 2-1, 3.
Just had a real little run of victories.
But then dropped 3 consecutive singles, got back a single, and now have dropped 3-1-2 in 3 ends.
Nick calling here. It's hard to see the gap. It's pretty close between that one on the back and the one on the side. I didn't see exactly what Nick called, but Billy down the narrower hand. Doesn't look like it's going to hold. Yeah, no, it's crossing, stopping on that bowl there on the back quarter and sitting off on the wing.
Well, it was interesting talking to some of the Newcastle Hunter competition sides who said they've benefited from their competition being a little more pointy, a few less sides in it lately. Traditionally, Newcastle used to have 24 sides in Grade 1 and maintained an elevation and aggression. And to be fair to some of those sides, they weren't as strong as a lot of the sides competing in Grade 1, and over the last few years a few of those have dropped out, and particularly this year the Hunter Newcastle clubs have picked up a few extra players. Like you've got Lee Schreiner at Raymond Terrace and Aaron Sheriff as a marquee player this year, and Nick Cahill is a marquee. Wayne Rudiger, of course, for Engadine is a non-New South Wales player, as we like to term them.
Nick Cahill.
Nick is as well, yep.
Nick Cahill has just dropped that shot. Dropped that last bowl right next to Jack. That's just perfect draw bowling from the skip there.
So Cabramatta's got Cody Packer. East Maitland's got Josh Walker-Davis. But the Hunter side said that having those few extra players in has just meant that week in, week out competition is that much tougher, and that they're better prepared to come to a state final series knowing how tough your games are going to be, game after game after game. And I think it's showing in the results. 2 or 3 years ago, if you said Cabramatta was playing East Maitland, you'd say, well, that'll be over 3/4 of the way through, effectively. And Raymond Terrace, real threat. Matty Bouse, Lee Schreiner, and Aaron Sheriff as your skips. And Matty Bouse, you let him get on top on the game, you're in trouble.
Well, after 52 ends over there, I can tell you that East Maitland up 45-43 over Cabramatta. Oh, my God, that Nick Cahill, while I was looking through the lens to see that, has just dropped the second brilliant shot. Those are 2 remarkable bowls sitting there on the jack. That's great bowling.
We'll see some sort of attack.
Yeah, and just calling him through on those two.
And it's getting to the point where...
That's quick. Oh, he's close. He's close. He has clobbered Jack back to the ditch. Having a look. Big celebration there from the Engadine crew. And 2. It is 2 to Engadine after all of that. And that is a wonderful shot.
And a huge result in the context of this game. 2 there to Soldiers Point would have blew the lead out a little bit to 8. Whereas that's just dragged it back to 4.
So over there on the Tarrant Point versus St John's match, it's 50 ends, meaning 13 to go. 58 Tarrant Point, 49 to St John's.
So they've scored 7 each since last time we looked at it. And Tarrant Point keeping them at bay. We'll just have to go and check the Jets and Marlins in just a moment. I'll do that now.
Yeah, you're going to pop up and go for a wander, stretch the legs. What have we got here? That's Sam's lead. She's gone pretty short, which is can be quite aggressive if you've got a propensity to drive, and allows you to kill the end, or you can smack it a bit really hard from a shorter distance and drop the first one in behind, which is exactly where she wants to do it. And really good reply from a fantastic reply, to my mind, from Soldiers Point from Matthew Johnson. It's been pretty accurate the whole time.
Well, Raymond Terrace looking fairly secure with 10 ends to go there, 21 in front. 50-29 after 53. Raymond Terrace leads Nelson Bay. So it's the only side that really looks secure. There's one more to Soldiers Point on the middle rink. Five shots with 9 ends.
Well, Chris just ducking past those front 3 bowls. Finishing a little bit past Jack, but a pretty good shot in the end.
Big bowl. Well, Soldiers Point, the next 3 ends can determine whether they can really lay claim to this game or not. They can win 3 ends now. I think they're home. And conversely, Engadine win the next 3 ends. We're in for an absolute cracking finish.
Well, we're at 19-14 after 18. It's a 5-shot difference, and there's 5 shots on the big board. So all of the difference is here on this rink. And so Engadine's got to get up here and help their teammates out a bit. Nick Cahill's just not giving them a chance. Every time they're holding or something like that, he is breaking through. Muzz won the last end on a cracking shot, driving Jack into the ditch for 2. But every other time it seems Nick's had the answers.
The sun is starting to get on the fairly steep angle.
Mm-hmm.
Shadows keep creeping across. The light tower shadow not quite right across the green yet, but not far off it. And if you're a photography nerd like some people around here, how cool does it look looking out over number 1 green from here?
The golden hour is just brilliant. There's a little, sun's actually shining through a little bit of a wispy cloud there, and the sky's turned yellow, and it's beautiful out. A little bit further on from us, away from the tinted screens, is spectacular out here right now. This is a great club at Foster. They're really looking after us well, and it's a magnificent facility for bowls. If you're in the area or you're ever coming up looking for a holiday destination, you could do worse than Foster Bowling Club or Foster Town itself.
Because we're here for the 2022-23 BCiB Open State Pennants Grade 1 State Final Series. If you're in the area tomorrow, jump in. You'll see some cracking matches in the semi-final and final tomorrow.
Oh, definitely worth the trip. Food here is really good too, so jump in. And we're here, and we're very lucky to be here because of Bowling Club Insurance Brokers, or BCiB. They're the number 1 insurance broker for clubs in New South Wales. They have a solid reputation for professionalism and providing quality personal advice. They're also a massive supporter of our sport of bowls.
Terry Antram just going to slide past.
Really good spot there. And any touch on that front green one's going to move Jack. So that's an important bowl.
I reckon in about 45 minutes or so, the view out over Wallace Lake would be spectacular.
Oh, it's going to be, that high wispy cloud is going to make it orange, and it's going to be fantastic. Now has this gone? A little bit of... Here he comes with his white balls. His Nick's clapping him in. May not have the little touch, but a really good spot. Good bowling. High fives all round from the Soldiers Point team. And Engadine with it all to do, all in front of them.
Well, just watching the body language, the Soldiers Point guys really look up for it, whereas there's a bit of nerves and trepidation in the Engadine camp.
It's something a big shot here. Something I noticed at the AO, and I've noticed again this weekend, is sometimes that initial body language is really telling about how a game's going to go. The initial body language from both these teams was really good, but now it's starting to show on the Engadine side perhaps a little bit, not frustration as you said, but nervousness about what's to come. Soldiers Point look confident and up for the battle, and Engadine hanging on with by the skin of their teeth a little bit.
I think too, Engadine came into day 2 as the 2-game winners, guaranteed to get through. Got a bit of a scare in this morning's game, but got home. So they're coming in as, we're 3-game winners. We're expected to win this. Mm-hmm. Whereas Soldiers Point had a win and a loss yesterday. Scored a good win this morning to claim their berth. But they faced the fact that they could have won this morning and still missed out, I think. So this game's more of a bonus for them. It's, we're glad to be here. We're happy to be here. There's no pressure on us.
And let's see what Nick's got. He's bowled a couple of absolute blinders just recently, and this one's gone back, and it's a really smart bowl, really good decision. He could have drawn that flat, but it's going back to protect the back because here comes Muzz with a heavy shot. And it's accurate. Oh, it's just bent. Didn't expect that out of the hand. That looked fantastic. It looked exactly what he was asking for. But bent even under that amount of weight and didn't move it.
Soldiers Point actually had 2 losses yesterday. 2 narrows, but they had to make sure they had a win today to give themselves a chance. And the results fell their way, so bonus round. You come into this series knowing, get in the top 2, that's all you need to do. And there's 3 bowls taken out already.
This is a big end for Soldiers Point, and a big end in the context of the game as we approach the final few ends, or final 9 at least. Did I get that right? 6, 7, 8, 9, yep.
It's a real energy drainer for Engadine, I think, too. You saw that hesitancy as they walked over across the cross ends. I just thought, well, here's Soldiers Point with a bit of excitement, a bit of a here we go.
This game is can be won and lost.
4.
Yeah, 4 shots. That's a big 4 shots for Soldiers Point, taking them to 24 and 10 shots up. Correction, 23.
I know, I'm just catching up on that.
No worries, yeah, 24 and putting them 10 shots up, 9 shots up with 2 ends to go. 10 shots up with 2 ends to go.
Yep. 8 will catch up.
The screen will catch up.
There it goes.
And
9 on the rink. 9 on the rink, 10 on the big board. Yes.
Yep. Oh, my apologies, yes. 10 on the big board. And
so you're looking at the rink score. I'm an old Pennant player and go, no, you know what?
Oh, I think from these guys, I think the big board, well, there's 9 shots in it on in this rink and 10 shots on the big board. These guys that need to be doing the scoring and start carrying some of their weight. The other 2 rinks are just clinging. There's one more shot there for Soldiers Point on the middle rink.
And that's just turning the screws. So just picked up 6 shots in 3 ends. And what did I say? Who can win the 3 ends?
Exactly right. If they win the 3 ends, they'll probably win the entire thing.
Then again, it's not rocket surgery to work that one out. So. And yes, I deliberately did them. What is it? A malapropism? Mixed metaphor.
That's a good word. Malapropism. I'll have to look that one up.
So will I.
I do like fun words.
I'll have to use it. Malapropism meaning the mistaken use of a word in place of a similar sounding one, often with amusing effect. For example, dance a flamingo instead of a flamenco.
So the lead's doing a pretty good job there. I think Ian's got the shot at the front. The back is definitely covered by both of them, leaving not many options to knock Jack around. Billy's punching this down the wide hand. Nick likes it. Nick's gone in for a closer look.
It's blowing smoke. In fact, the smoke has stopped.
Nick,
it's a bit short.
Tricked me completely. Oh, that was interesting. Yeah, tricked me completely there, and not upset though.
Well, there's a celebration on the Engadine rink on the far side.
They've created a big wall there, so we can't really see. Let's have a look as seconds come in on this rink. I'll just look at that big board over there. Oh, Cabramatta's back up, 48-46 on 57. It's a seesawing contest over there.
48-46.
Yep, on 57. And on the other side is just a man standing in the way. I'll just stand up and see if I can get over his head. Is 55 ends, Tarrant Point 63, St John's Park 54.
Oh, the Saints are
Well, they're holding on.
just holding on. The gears will be grinding a bit there, though. 8 ends, 9 shots. Really can't afford to drop an end there. It's a great ball from Chris Roberts, side toucher.
Yeah, that's fantastic by Chris. There's lots of space there. There was lots of space in there for him to draw into, and he'd be pretty happy holding that one there. Looks like it's starting to get a bit chillier. I can see some of the crowd pulling out blankets now. Players haven't really... Oh, yeah, some of them are putting jumpers on that I haven't seen yet. And I think the focus of the contest is putting the cold out of some of their minds, especially over there at the East Maitland Cabramatta game. That'd be as tense as a game as anyone could play. And here comes and just wants to match Chris up there. What's the weight? It looks heavy. Caution. Oh, just rolled him up and back. Hard in mouth stuff, that.
Well, how big is that accidental trail a few ends ago now? Holding a good count, trailed it back to be one down, and Nick Cahill drew a couple inside it. Terry Antram's picked the jack off.
Where did it go? Having a close look.
We'll throw them back, I think. No, they're going to chuck them down this end.
Yep, bringing them down here. So that is a dead end. So a dead end. We play again. It's been a day of dead ends, I think, down here with even the Leeds getting involved in the last game.
It's pretty typical. Raymond Terrace are off the green. I imagine they've gone on to record a fairly solid victory. They were well in front. So the Terrace will play either St John's Park or Tarrant Point. So Benny Twist chasing a ball over there. No. Doesn't know whether he got a result or not.
He's been up and about. He's up and running at the moment. But, yeah, we'll keep an eye on those scores as it comes. These games come closer to the end. As on the big board here on this rink, as a drive comes down next door from Wayne Rudiger, there's a Soldiers Point of 54, Engadine 43. 9 shots in it with 6 ends to go. This rink, there is 9 shots between the two teams.
And the shadows starting to really stretch out. A little bit of pinkish orange appearing there.
Really is. It looks a bit different for us, but there's gold out there, and all the people on this side of the green that are looking across, spectating from this side, have got their hands on their heads and trying to keep the sun out of their eyes. Good bowling by the Leeds here. Look at this. Here comes Sam. Oh, just clunked into run to the front, rolled up. Not quite far enough, but it will be influential. What's Billy got? No, just run through.
Just checked. I'm not seeing any results from other grades as yet. Or actually wouldn't expect to with fine weather even if windy and cold, perhaps out of Dubbo. Expect the greens to be running reasonably well, and about our stage, a few ends to go. And the results won't go until official, so the managers have just got to check and sign off.
That's right. Yeah, we're there's a bit of a happy zone here. I'm just some more scores going up there on the big boards around, so I'll just have a quick look to see what's going on. Oh, Cabramatta are one shot up over East Maitland, 48-47 after 58 ends. So 5 ends to go there in a real seesawing contest. 66-54 after 56 ends on the Tarrant Point St John's Park scoreboard, and on ours is correct on 54-43 after 57.
And just a confirmation, Raymond Terrace has defeated Nelson Bay. We just haven't got the final score there. But I do know, because I saw Blake Saws doing the high fives with Lenny Bouse. Terry Antram on the mat. Do have a final score. It's a comprehensive victory for Raymond Terrace, 60-32.
Dave McDonald asking for the Tarrant Point score. It's just running across the ticker now, mate. An interesting head, this one here. Hasn't moved since those 3 lead bowls came down, or the 4 lead bowls came down. Soldiers Point looking to cover the back. Meanwhile, Engadine are trying to, I think, push Sam's bowl through a bit. And another one's missed. So with the games on the other rink finished, a lot of people have moved on to this rink. There's a pretty big crowd building, as you can see on the camera now, on the left-hand side of the green. Running in just a little bit short there is Terry Antram. A slightly different shot from Anne. On the other hand, she's pretty close here. She's accurate. Jack has been punched back. I can't see. It's in the ditch. High fives all round. I don't know who's holding back there. You can see where Jack is now and the amount of space there is around it to draw into, which both these bowlers are very, very capable of doing. Nick lines up first. That very compact style he has. Out nice and wide as he has to be with these aerospace bowls. He's looking down a bit. Maybe he thinks he's running. Looks like it's slowing up. Oh, no, it is slowing up. Well, maybe too much. Yep, stopped on the tee. That's not what he wanted, as we discussed last game. Getting past the tee's the trick here for this kind of bowl.
With the shadows going across, there might be just a fraction of pace dropping off this screen.
And Moz just ran through.
Moz might have seen Nick fall short and think, well, I've got to be up. I don't think it would have been that much pace has dropped off so far. Well, Terry Antram's interested.
Is it going to stop? No, it's going to.
It's going to stop.
Yeah, that's it. When it hits the bank.
I'll sand and bank stop him every time. Well, Moz chance to add another. Wants to miss that one. Yep, he's could
He's
be in
played
with that.
quite well. I can't quite see.
I think that's 4 fingers.
Wow, 4 or 5. I just saw the side of the hand there. It's hard to catch up when they're facing that way. So let's see what goes up on the board. 17, so it was 3. 23-17 on 20 ends. Final end coming.
Still 8 shots on the big board.
So let's have a look around while these guys are crossing. 52-48 after 60 Cabramatta East Maitland. $71.54 to Tarrant Point after 57. So the expected.
I did lead you a little furphy this morning too. I mistakenly said who'd play against Raymond Terrace is actually the winner of Cabramatta and East Maitland. Takes on Raymond Terrace. So we have sections 1 and 2 on our green here, and sections 3 and 4 on the other. And we cross over.
You could start there by Sam. She's done that very, very well. Here comes Matt. He's been consistent all game. I'll have to give him a lot of credit for being that good lead.
I think it was one more to finish the match on the middle to Soldiers Point. And yep, 19 for Carrot Litfin. So that leads back out to 9 with 4 ends to go. They need 2.5.
So at the end of this, all of the results after this end, we'll probably finish pretty close in to finishing in all rinks. You'll be able to get all your results on the Bowls Link app, or excuse me, Bowls Link website, or the Bowls Now app. I recommend that Bowls Now app very much. It's really a fantastic resource for information. As Chrissy likes this bowl very much. He rode that all the way home.
Well, it looks like Tarrant Point have taken control. 71-54 after 57 ends.
Yeah, that's what it is. No extra scores yet on the other side, on the East Maitland scoreboard.
52-48.
On 60, yep, that's where it remains. That's been a tight seesawing contest amongst all 3 rinks.
So Cabramatta ahead 52-48 after 62. So they've actually, after 60, sorry. 3 ends to go, 4 shots the difference. Cabramatta's actually surged in the last few ends. They were just behind 47-46, I think it was.
Cool. Nick having a good look at this one. Oh, wow, that rolled around in a really fantastic manner. Wobbled and rolled down and laid down for one shot. Well, the points picked up another shot there, so it's 71-55 on 58 on that end. At that end of the club. Oh, and 2 shots picked up there by East Maitland, making it 50-52 on 61 ends completed. That's going to come down very much to the wire. And here there's 9 shots between the teams, 6 shots between the teams on this rink. And just coming down with a big weighted shot, has scattered the bowls everywhere. And I still think, oh yeah, look at disappointment there from, the end's killed. So again, we go back, they'll send the bowls back to the other end, and we start again. It's absolutely amazing to be able to think that over 3 rinks, 2 teams can be that, within a couple of shots of each other after that amount of time. It's just a really beautiful, even contest. Sam's sticking to that wide hand. She's played it pretty well all day. Quite an even contest with Matt. I was singing Matt's praises, but she's held her own pretty well, and this is just another good example of that. Sitting down and resting on Jack. That's almost the perfect lead bowl. It's the smallest possible target. It's tough to move, and everyone's going to have to play for it. And Matt has, making sure he's got weight to reach, and he's just punching past slightly. It's just really exciting bowls to watch. It's an exciting afternoon, and with great games all up and down the club here. Everyone intently involved. The crowd size here is just phenomenal. Foster putting on a really good show. The club itself is quite full. The surrounds of the green are absolutely full. Everyone getting mightily refreshed. Okay, there's a change to the board over there. Believe it or not, Tarrant Point's picked up some shots. 71-56 on 59. And change the board over there as well. Excuse that. I think there's a raffle starting behind us. Oh, goodness. 2 shots there. Extra there to Cabramatta. 54-50 on 62. Cabramatta all but locking that away. But, geez, what a tussle the whole way. They wouldn't be breathing any sighs of relief. They're all sitting on the bank there, the team in front of the big board. Usually frowned upon.
Disco with the last end to play. So Aaron Wilson and...
Well, who's on Aaron Wilson's team? We've actually not looked at Cabra. How did Cabra game? And I think it was the Aaron Wilson's with Gregory Jeans, Jaden Gebby and Benjamin Moorthorpe. And they'll be playing against, from East Maitland, they'll be playing against Jake Lawton, Paul Cousins, Robert Darcy and Ryan Brassey.
A couple of changes there, I think. Yeah.
Oh, the East Maitland squad there was too. I'd have to look it up on Bowls Link, where all of this is listed.
It's actually Ellen Ryan leading for
It is, yep.
for Disco with Jaden Gebby and Greggy Jeans. Mark Thomas, Rod Darcy, Paul Cousins and Jake Lawton are supposed to be playing them. I see Clay Parker out there. What's going on here? Oh, we'll check that later.
So on this rink, just looking past the players there. That resting touch is still sitting there. Of Sam's hasn't moved. It's well surrounded. And these guys playing it right to the end. They're knowing that there's 4 ends left. 9 shots in it on the big board. Oh, that's changed a bit. Where's that changed? You can't see the scoreboards as the players are standing in front of them. So the middle rink's finished. The outer rink 15-14 on 20. And waiting on and this rink here. So total scores at the moment. Looking at 46-55. No, that's still on 59. They'll update shortly. If I've done the right thing in the program there. Yeah, so it's 56-47 after 61.
Just click off the square. Nope.
So still
there we go.
There we are. So still 9 shots in it. And 2 ends to go. So pretty difficult on 2 rinks to get that amount of shots, but they'll continue to try their best. Soldiers Point's certainly not letting them have anything.
Well, Mason trying to kill. He knows they need big numbers. And Soldiers Point win an end. That's it. Gone.
And they're covering the back a little bit there. I'm not sure if that's where he wanted to be. I can't see Jack getting out to that direction, but backspur forward and a big shot here from. Oh, Mason's not. Oh, they're stopping and they're shaking hands.
Yeah, well,
they can't
Soldiers
win.
Point holding shot. That's it.
That is the game, ladies and gentlemen. Soldiers Point through to the semi-finals, winning over Engadine. The score will be updated shortly. Oh, they're shaking hands, but it looks like Nick's going to have a shot anyway, is he?
He's going to play it. Oh, it's a bowl to come. They holding shot?
No, I think Sam's got it at the front, but they will be after this. Look at this shot. What a great shot, Nick Cahill. Fantastic, and that should be the game, ladies and gentlemen. Over the other side, Cabramatta's shaking hands with East Maitland in the same situation as we have here. And only 1 game left to play.
So with just the 1 end left to play on the far rink, it's 10 shots the difference. The game is concluded.
Cabra celebrating and going into a huddle there. And looks like they've just beaten East Maitland. East Maitland put up a great challenge.
Engadine's kicked the bowls as well. They've said, no, let's not even finish this end. So we do thank you for joining us this afternoon for the BCiB Open State Pennants. We look forward to your company tomorrow morning for the semi-finals. Keep an eye on BowlsLink. You'll get the results and for the quarterfinals and the semi-finals for all divisions very soon, as soon as their games are finished and loaded in. So, thanks, Ben
Cristolitis, yeah, that's it. Thanks, Andrew. It's
tired.
been an absolutely massive day and another huge day tomorrow in the finals, and I look forward to having everyone with us once again.